Connect. There it goes. Well, that was weird. Sorry about that. I had a weird message pop up right at the last second going, connect your software to go. I'm like, yeah, it's already connected. You said it was. All right. How's it going? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Well, I don't know how much we should bury the lead on that and just gonna start off. Sorry, I'm just moving Rumble along. They always like that pre-roll thing, and it puts a delay on there. There we go. Okay. So, well, India and Pakistan may be at war. So, news came down tonight. Well, yesterday now. So, I think it was a little before 6 p.m. I heard it. 6 p.m. U.S. Central, that India had done airstrikes on Pakistan. Not a lot of people have been paying attention to this, but I've been moderately paying attention because of all the tensions going on over there. And it's like, oh, good, like we need one more war. Well, it looks like we may have it. I don't want to jump to conclusions, though, because anybody that knows anything about that region, India and Pakistan have not liked each other for a long time. They've had tensions for a long time. They have had some skirmishes in the past. But this one is pretty bad. And if this doesn't... Sorry. I don't know why I left that on this late. Sorry, let me silence that. There we go. I don't want to say this will be an all-out war, but this is probably one of the biggest skirmishes or attacks in a long time. There's been warnings going back and forth both ways. Don't cut off the water. Don't do this. Stop getting... This is our territory. This is our territory. These two countries, it's fair to say, hate each other. This is another Israel-Iran type thing. They do not like each other. And the problem with this is these are two nuclear nations. They both have nuclear weapons. Not to be a jackass, but neither of them have what... I know this is going to sound really stupid. So, hey, that you get it, 3:18 a.m. my time. They aren't what we would consider big nukes. But they are, hey, even a small nuke is not a good thing to have maybe militant nations going at each other who have these devices. I don't know if they would use them or not. I am unsure of how deep the hatred runs, if it runs enough to where one might drop one on the other. I believe their nuclear weapons, their largest ones, are what the United States, Russia, and some of the other countries that have them would call them kind of tiny. But still, each one would probably take out a whole city. They're probably on the range of the Hiroshima, Nagasaki type weapons used then. So I'm not going to profess to be an expert on these two countries, but I have followed them just because I found it interesting. Just kind of like the Israeli thing. I've been following it for a long time, just a little bit, just because I find it interesting how these tensions this is a long time thing. But yeah, and at first I was watching other people who were talking about it, and they were unsure if this is real, if it was troll. There has been, this is fresh. What's the updates? But I have a TV station right behind me that is streaming from Pakistan, and they are talking about it. In fact, going across the bottom, they are talking about Indian aggression against Pakistan. They also like to say they're chickens. India's chicken for attacking in the middle of the night. Trump calls Indian attack on Pakistan a shame. He did do that. U.S. Secretary of State Rubio had a statement they played up here. That I can understand, but it is actually in their language, just so you know. and I do not speak it. I was also looking at feeds, so I will show a few here, maybe from India. Yeah. Oof. I don't know if this will get worse or not. There is video of some of the damage. So, Indian aggression against Pakistan is regrettable, Chinese foreign minister. From the Chinese foreign ministry, avoid actions which may jeopardize regional peace. So, yeah, they're talking about it as breaking news. This is a Pakistani station. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with this. It is a big deal. And I'm not going to come in here like some professed news source, but I'm mildly educated. I'm going to toot my own horn and say I'm probably more educated than a lot of Americans are on this because we don't pay attention. But it's something the Pakistan thing is something I started paying attention to. India, Pakistan was, about 2 years ago. It's like, somebody told me about it. I started listening. It's like, well. Also, China, this is a bad thing because China may want to get involved here. China may use this to, if this really blows up, China could use this as a distraction to go for Taiwan, which I doubt. But they could also use it to back Pakistan, which they probably will. They don't really much care for India. And maybe try to grab a little territory from India. Because they have a border there. So that is a possibility. Over here at CNN World, India conducts deepest strikes into Pakistan in more than 50 years. India launched missile strikes into Pakistan, and Pakistan administered Kashmir, claiming only terrorist infrastructure was hit. Pakistan denies this, saying civilians and mosques were hit. Across 6 locations, that 8 people, including children, were ended. CNN's Nick Robertson reports from Islamabad, Pakistan. Once again, we don't know if the children thing is true. We don't know the real numbers. This is fresh, but yeah, there's a lot going on here. Over on X here. Breaking India demands 10 bombs and 2. I don't know what this means. The strikes will continue. But yeah, I've seen this. The leader, their minister, prime minister, talking on some of the news sources I've been watching. This is stupid here. Like I said, it's hard to glean through what is real and what isn't. And it is called Operation Sindoor. So I don't know why why she has to add this other stuff, but it is Operation Sindoor. I've seen it on the news sources. Here is supposedly an attack. Holy shit, India has attacked Pakistan. Get ready for chaos in the streets of Britain. And this person is saying that because England has unfortunately been just overwhelmed with people from that part of the world. Legally and illegally. They are having a problem in their country as it is. This could cause tensions on the streets between people. But as you can see here, it shows missile strikes coming in. So yeah, and this at first people were unsure if this is real footage or something fake or added from before, the little timestamp put in. But no, I've gone through and this looks pretty darn real. So as you can see, the missiles come flying in there. So, and just off camera is where they're hitting over there. So yeah, some of the sources of over there. So this is not a fake thing. I don't want to spend the whole stream on it, but it is a big deal. This is a big deal. India attacking Pakistan from all sides. Pakistan is so helpless, says this person. So I'm betting they have. And by the way, I have been finding on X major posts from multiple sides. You can definitely tell who they're for or where they're from. But this one says, Red Alert, Pakistan is under cyber attack as well. Please don't click on any web link shared to open a web page. It's a cyber attack. Oh boy. And this is what many will call fifth generation warfare. It's going to be fought not only on the battlefields. It's going to be fought in media where it's going to be fake, could be some fake accounts going on. Like I said, we don't know if any children were actually injured. Could be putting out propaganda on the internet. And that's a level that most wars have never had the ability to do. You're going to see stuff from both sides, from random people. And also, we are going to have, as any major war now will have cyber attacks. Didn't used to have that. So wars today are on a whole bunch of levels we never had before. But yeah, it's, that's not one that we need to look at. A gentle reminder to Pakistan. Now, I don't know what this is. Hang on. Gentle reminder to Pakistan. I'm not even sure if this isn't in English. So I may not even be able to understand this, to know what is going on. Yeah, alright, some type of warning, but I don't know what it is, so apologize. A wise man once said Pakistan is a small nation, and one big blow from India will end everything. We are witnessing it today. It doesn't seem like that big a strike. It doesn't seem. Maybe it was very surgical. Maybe India was after something specific. There we go, sorry. I am still checking Rumble. I always worry about old Rumble over there. So yeah. Hope Pakistan learns its lesson and stops harboring terrorists. I don't think all this is just about terrorists. There's that Operation Sindoor again. I don't think this is all about terrorists because this has been going on for a long time. I've heard there's boundary issues on both countries claiming certain parts of land that this is our boundary. No, this is our boundary. There's also water rights because I believe one of the rivers or something flows from India into Pakistan. And Pakistan was threatening India, don't you dare cut this off, or vice versa. So yeah. My Sindoor is here to take revenge for our sisters. Sindoor, I don't know what that means. Maybe I should look that word up. Let's go here. Let's see what that means. Maybe it just means war. Oops. Sindoor. Sindoor is a traditional vermilion, red, or orange room cosmetic powder. So, Red Alert, Operation Cosmetic Powder. Okay. Now, here's one from 2 hours ago. NDTV, 24 strikes, 9 terror camps. Once again, we don't know. This could all be propaganda. 70 killed, ended. India rained hell for 25 minutes. Why did India strike Pakistan? What China said after India's actions against terror targets. So, there's a lot. This is fresh. We're going to be learning a lot over the next 24 hours. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Here's some more of the footage from the attack. I got some music involved, so I'm going to cut that back. I don't think we need that anyway. But look at that coming in. That is crazy. So, I don't know why they would put music over this anyway. I mean, jeez. It does not look like a wide-scale attack. It does look like they are possibly aiming for certain things. So, yeah. Let's see here. All right. Locations of the terror facilities. They hit these right here. And that one there. Whew. This is why they say this is some of the deepest strikes in 50 years. Because this is way deep. I mean, you look at these here. That's pretty heavy right into the country. These are border. They control Kashmir. They say administer, but they control it, or it's a province, kind of, a territory. Best I can explain it, but all these are bordering on actual Pakistan's border, but kind of deep into there. Now, if you go right into Pakistan itself, these two shots are deep. So, yeah, there's... Whew. Israel stands with India. Oh, boy. See, that's the other thing I'm worried about. And I'm going to ask any of you here that see this. Do you think that this will draw more problems in the Middle East area? Do you think Israel will take a side? Do you think India joins up with somebody? Pakistan with China would be obvious. Slowburn 1, we have a good relationship with India. I'm going to say Trump was informed. That would be, I don't know. I'm hoping you're right in a way. We do seem to have a pretty good relationship with India. I don't agree with them on a lot of stuff. We have some problems with India, but yeah, I would say on average, we do have a pretty good relationship with them. By the way, welcome very much. And there's a lot of these times I'm up super late, like, because I don't expect anybody to come on, so I don't even notice the chat sometimes. I would, if he was informed, okay, that's pretty, that would be a good thing, because that maybe means India also is hoping we can help with some peace talks, or, hey, India's like, hey, we got to get rid of these terrorists. But this India-Pakistan thing for weeks now, even the last couple months, has been ramping up, and it's been because of a lot of things, from water rights to borders to, I guess, some terrorism stuff. How you doing, Slowburn? I'll ask you, Slowburn, since you're here. Do you think, like this, Israel stands with India? I don't know who posted, whoever this is. I don't know who they are, but do you think there's a possibility that there could be sides taken? Because China would definitely take side of Pakistan. If Israel sides with India, I mean, this could really cause tensions to rise over there. Would you think that's a worry, or do you think the other countries will stay out of it? Not really interject themselves. I think Israel, I don't think, can take any type of side too much at the moment. I think they got their hands full. They're handling enough. Taking strikes on some airports and some stuff today, and got their own strikes coming in. I don't think Israel can, without really getting nasty, really take a side. Hey, Jeff Holt. No resources in that region. You talking about us, or are you talking about Israel? I'm not saying Israel has resources there. I'm just saying, even if countries take sides, it can inflame tensions. If Israel goes, we stand with India officially, anybody that doesn't like Israel is going to be pissed off. And then they might say, oh, we stand with Pakistan. And sooner or later, somebody does something stupid in their own areas, and it inflames tensions between those countries. I'm just worried about too many people starting to take sides. How you doing, Jeff? But yeah, I'm worried about that. Just taking sides, inflaming tensions between other countries, and then this is blowing out of proportion. I don't think China will use it as an excuse to move on Taiwan, but they could use it as an excuse by backing Pakistan to take some land from India, which they've wanted. I think they'll stay out of it, at least for a while, literally because of Trump being Trump. You know, Slurburn, you're probably right. You're probably right. Jeff Holt, I can't see W3 over 2 shitholes. You know what? I would normally agree. I would like to agree with you, but if you look at what started the last couple world wars, it doesn't take much. I mean, assassinations of Franz Ferdinand, he was nothing big at the time. That country really had no power at the time. Some of the stuff that started the last two, you would look at that time, people weren't thinking then that would start a world war. They were thinking it was kind of minor. Yet, oh shit, it started a war. So I don't know. I really hope you're right, Jeff. And I actually really would edge your way and say you're right. But we've seen wars started over stupider crap. Or in bigger shitholes. How's that? So, who knows? Oh, boy. Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir. A Hindu and Muslim cannot live together. Yeah, so... Giving belt treatment to Pak-sponsored terror. India first. Fister. Somebody's not spelling. Let's see, is she in English? I bet not. Yeah. A lot of the stuff, even my TV station I have in the background, is not in a language I understand, but I was making sure, because there were people earlier tonight that were thinking this might be fake. It's just something going on. It was an op. It was propaganda. So I went to the source and went to actual stations over there. So yeah, I mean, but now it's pretty well confirmed. Here's some damage over here from the Guardian. France 24. By the way, France sells a lot of jets to these countries, at least India. Pakistan decries act of war after India strikes, at least 34 killed. Some are saying 70 killed. Some are saying children. Who knows? Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I followed the India-Pakistan conflict for a couple years, kind of lightly, just going, what the hell? What the hell is going on? India has launched Operation Sindoor, hitting 9 sites in Pakistan. Pakistan-administered Kashmir, which I showed. Here it is, right here. And some of these are kind of deep. I mean, Kashmir is a territory pretty much of Pakistan, but these here are pretty deep. So yeah, it's a cluster flock. Let's see here. Oh, not going to go with that. Oh, here we go. I've got a couple things here. Hang on, let me shrink me a little bit. Get you guys showing you some of this. Sorry. Late night. There's my pups. That's my pups right there. So let me show you this. Here we go. Here's what I want to show you. Here we go. These are pretty deep right over here. Considering this is a territory, you would think these are on the border, but you know, you consider where the borders are around here. These are pretty deep into their territory. So that's why CNN here is saying these are the deepest strikes in Pakistan in more than 50 years. So yeah, there's a lot here. I mean, I don't know why the music has to be there, but okay. That makes zero sense, adding music over it. I don't know, we need to make a rock video out of the strikes. Sorry I didn't have I had my camera up there for a little while. But yeah, there's others. Here's what from a live feed they had earlier, showing some of the hits. Here's a footage somebody had from a camera out their house. Has no sound, but there's these missiles coming in. So yeah, it's, I don't know. Brood and Bound, good morning. I'm from India. I can clear any doubts you have. About which part? I'm just curious, and I'm not gonna, this is not to crap on you. It's just everybody's gonna have their side. If you talk to, once again, the TV station in the background I was watching is from Pakistan, and they were having issues, the way they said it, talking about the Indian aggression and everything. So, Sindoor is actually a sign for a married woman. Oh, well, that's cool. Because that is something like usually a color worn by women along their hairline. So, yeah, I was reading some of that, but thank you very much. I'll ask you, since you seem to know a little more than I do, do you think this will escalate, or that this will be a thing that's over? Okay, so that's my question, because I've only followed some of this, and I know not all of it is this disagreement over the last few months has been escalating, is to do with terrorists. Also, there's been some arguments about, once again, borders, water rights, and some other stuff. So, do you think this will extend deeper? Do you think this will ramp up, or do you think, okay, this is it? They got what they wanted done. India did. Took out some terrorists, if that's what they were really after, and sent a message to Pakistan all at once. So, yeah. After checking, yeah, the religion issue, when I see here that the one military lady was saying that they just can't live together, which I'm going to say is a problem. that said Hindu and Muslim can't live together. And that, I'm going to say there's a problem here because Muslims can't seem to live with anybody, including themselves. Muslims are at war with themselves, different sects of themselves. They're at war with Hindus, they're at war with Christians, they're at war with Jews. I mean, I'm not trying to be an ass, and I'm sorry to anybody Muslim, but it seems your religion has a problem living with anybody. So, it seems like you look around the world, and there's Muslims are at war with everyone. So, yike. Well, to a certain extent, I don't think it will go nuclear. Okay, now that's a good thing. You think might escalate as Pakistan retaliates. See, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I think it would be, I mean, Pakistan and India have what a lot of the nations that have, nuclear nations consider kind of small nukes. But a small nuke is like saying you got hit by a small car. You know, it's still, you got hit by a car. And a small nuke is still a nuke. So I think what they do have is about the size of the old Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs America had in World War II. But still, they'll take out cities. But yeah, I haven't seen anybody that says that there were tensions anywhere near anything nuclear. Now, I'm going to ask, Brood and Bound, do you think China may use this as an excuse to grab a little territory from India? Because there is some, China's been saber rattling, and they've been saying they've been disputing the border with India. India don't like them. Do you think they would use this to grab a little territory? If it got worse. If it doesn't, if it stays minor, I don't think they'll risk it. China's got enough problems internally right now with all the stuff going on in there, if you looked. Let's see. No one can live in peace with Muslims. It does seem to be a thing, doesn't it, Jeff? I don't understand how. I don't know. It's almost to the point where it's hard to welcome. I don't want to blame them all, but it's hard to welcome Muslims into your country when they can't seem to live with anybody. And I do worry about people in, slow burn. Yeah, this is over religion. Okay, yeah. Well, the lady from the military right here says pretty much. She said that Hindu and Muslim can't live together. Yeah. So. And that's Pakistan Army Chief. So I'm assuming, if I believe she's Muslim, and the Hindus are definitely India. Or the majority at least. So even she admits Muslim and Hindu can't live together. Well, lady, look around the world. Wherever Muslims are, they're pissed off at somebody or at war with somebody or attacking somebody or doing stupid crap in city streets, even against themselves. So, yeah. Pakistan is sponsoring terrorism. Their own government has accepted it, even though Osama, dude, that pissed me off back then. I was like, come on. And they tried to act like, well, we didn't know he was there. He's in a huge military-type compound, tons of guards around. Everybody knew he was there. And yeah, I was pissed at Pakistan back then. I'm like, you hid this guy. Screw you. I thought that was crap. Today at briefing, the Indian government showed how much India has suffered because of cross-border terrorism sponsored by Pakistan. See, I was watching some feeds, but I had to depend on the English one, which I have one up over on my Brave browser. We might look at here in a little bit. But when it goes to their languages, yeah. I don't think so. Yeah, China and Pakistan have a good relation. Might be more of an economic support to China. Well, from what I hear, Brood and Bound, and I was reading some articles that were translated from Chinese. China don't like India, and India don't like China. And yeah, I don't know. I just know that China may be desperate to get their people's attention off of their economy, off of the closing factories, off of not being paid in their economy. Trump has hit them hard. There's been some definite riots and protests going on, and they have been expanding. So I would wonder if China would do anything to get their people's attention off of what's going on internally and some type of patriotism type thing to, hey, let's go get this land, or, oh, we're going to have to do this because these guys attacking, we have a chance. I don't know. Because they believe their God is the only God and the rest are deemed kafirs. Is that true? China doesn't sponsor terrorism directly. They use Pakistan to destabilize Indian economy. Yeah. See, it's a whole thing. I would just hope that everybody else stays out of it. We don't need another Israel-Gaza thing where everybody is getting involved. We don't need anybody getting involved, paying both sides, supporting both sides, amping it up, getting in the way. Well, you know, I don't want another, if this is going to happen, I don't want another 50, 60, 70, 80-year war. I want, if it's going to be a war, I want it to happen and be over with. And I've been saying the same thing about the whole Israel and Gaza crap. And the world needs to fuck off out of that war, turn their backs, walk away, and let these combatants handle it. Let Israel, Hamas, Israel, Iran, whatever, go at it and end it. This bullshit of getting in the way and stopping it, pretty much just giving everybody a rest break, and then let's go right back at it. Stop this perpetual war stuff, and I don't want to see another one, but I don't see that this one has the same, people overly invested. How's that? I just don't want the UN to get in and frig around with this. I don't want other countries to get in the way and frig around with it. I just don't want to see another protracted, off and on, ebb and flow, bullshit war for decades. So, yeah. I don't think it will escape. Pakistan might do some dogfights with jets to show its power, but Pakistan was defeated by China many times, India many times before. So much of Bangladesh was 1970. Okay. Don't think we'll escalate. Okay. I hope not. I mean, yeah, you're right. Pakistan will probably have to show, get that shot in to show, for their own propaganda, for their own people, to save face, save honor. So I'm hoping you're right. I just don't want anybody to get involved and amp this up, piss with it, and act like we should be involved in it. There's enough crap going on. I mean, if you look around the world, holy crap. You've got the Israel stuff going on with Hamas, Gaza, and the Houthis, how I pronounce it. You've got the whole Russia-Ukraine kerfuffle. You've got this. And in a couple other continents, there's little skirmishes going on. You got China saber rattling, which I don't know how much they're able to do much right now with all their economic problems, but man, oh man. What a time of stuff to just go knuckin' foots. They're a failing economy. Their people don't have proper food and water. I don't think they can afford war. India's, on the other hand, the fourth largest economy. Yeah, but India is not... India is a huge economy, partially because of its numbers of people. There's huge areas where there's still just pooping in the streets. There are areas that are definitely gorgeous, advanced, nice cities, but a huge amount of their population is still living in dirt huts. It's just like China. China is such a big economy. If you look around that country, I had a friend, an urban explorer friend, who lived in China. I believe he is not there anymore, but we talked all the time. He had videos, urban exploring places in China. I spoke the language, and he would show, for every good place in China, there's 20 bad ones. So, military budget, 10 times more Pakistan. Yeah, that makes a difference. Yeah, there's a huge wealth gap. When people in America want to whine about a wealth gap, they have no clue. I believe his name was Bryn, the friend who I talked to a lot, was in China. I believe you can still find his stuff on YouTube, but Yeah, the wealth gap, once you actually see it in other countries, the wealth gap in America, Americans have no clue. I mean, when you got people living on the par with like people in America, and then 10 blocks away, they're still wiping their butts with their hands. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just saying, living in dirt and stone buildings they're barely standing and stuff like that, and trying to use an old 1970s black and white TV still for their high tech. That's a gap that Americans just don't understand. It's because China isn't a democracy. It's hard to uplift. Yeah, it is. It is. And just like any communist, socialist country, it's the people at the top that they get all the good stuff. And then the rest is suddenly the communism where you own nothing is just for the rest of the people. Yeah, it's hard to lift them up. Even though China is not a straight communism. It does have bits of democracy, or how about that? Not bits of democracy, bits of capitalism sprinkled in. It's not near as straight communist as it used to be. Jeff Alt, poor people in America have widescreen TVs and are fat. Yes. Exactly, Jeff. I mean, Americans, widescreen TVs. They all walk around with these, our pocket brains. They're wearing Nikes. They're playing their PS5. They're streaming stuff. The poor in other countries are lucky to get food. They're lucky not to be taking baths in a river where they also poop. So yeah, the poor in America have no clue. I'd say the poor in all first world nations. I know some people like the first world, third world, second world nations stuff, but you can actually make an argument for that. But most first world industrialized nations, the poor in those nations have no clue. They bitch and whine, but that's first world problems, honestly. So I will take a shot at a lot of first world poor people, or first world people anyway, for not knowing sometimes how good they do have it. Let's see. This is the attack I was mentioning. Okay. Which took place on 22nd April. Okay. Huh. But yeah, this is craziness. And I was over here watching some of this. This is one of the live feeds I was watching.
Proof that's coming that there's drone proof as
this is an English version.
What do you think our next course of action should be as someone who's done this planning, preps and all?
So I'm not sure how loud that is for you guys. I don't know how loud my headphones are. Not very loud.
Prepared for.
India has taken all the possible steps. They have catered in.
But this is
Pakistan response.
This is an India feed. I was watching a Pakistan feed in the background, but I lost that feed.
05 and 130, those 25 minutes that you just said, is the highest degree of professionalism. And
it does seem very targeted, so that's a good thing.
Indian Armed Forces have done. We have destroyed the 9 terrorist camps and the headquarters at Bahawalpur without causing any collateral damage. We went in for precise attack. We had the...
Now we all know, we're going to hear propaganda from both sides, where India may say, we're no collateral damage at all, we hit this perfect. Where Pakistan's going to say, oh my God, we've lost schools full of children and they hit 20 hospitals and stuff. And there's going to be BS on both sides, but at this point, considering, especially as we discussed earlier, Pakistan hid Osama bin Laden and knew it, I'm going to give a little bit more of my trust to India. So that's where I'm going to stand. I don't have a horse in the race, really. I don't know for sure anybody over there. I don't know much about the conflict. Brood and Bound, you seem to have much more knowledge than I do. But I'm going to say that the Indians I will trust a little more because they didn't hide Osama bin Laden from America. So, it's a credible English news source. Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, I hunted around a lot. And I've used NDTV in the past. I've got about 10 sources I use for world news that are in English, and others that I actually can have a translate that will actually put subtitles in English on some of them. I use a couple in Israel and stuff like that, and too. So, tell you what, a VPN is nice to have, folks. Even though some of these, like this one, NDTV, you can watch this without a VPN. The Pakistani one I was streaming in the background, you don't need a VPN for that. So, yeah. You know, I noticed my stream went away. Now it's gone to my screensaver, so I apologize for that. But I was watching this for a good while before I came live, and just, wahoo. Last thing the world needs right now is just one more conflict. And I'm going to say, dang, man, Trump came in. The Biden administration, his handlers, they amped up conflicts around the world. I'm sure they didn't really have much to do with this one, but I'm sure they didn't make anything better. They didn't show America as strong, that America had everybody's backs, and I think that's a bad thing. Most Indian news channels are streaming live on YouTube. Yes, Brood and Bound. That's what I found out. There's also some of the Israeli ones I've used over the years, and I even found a couple from Iran, Afghanistan, and a couple others around the world. And you can, if you really look, glean some actual stuff right out of China. But I will tell you, once you start digging really deep, I'm not going to lie, a VPN is nice. I mean, wow. I don't know how much you guys have watched TV from other countries, but Australia, that's a tough nut to crack there. You've got to almost have a VPN to check out any news from what they're thinking. BBC is a little more open. Of course, they better be, since we seem to support BBC. So, yeah. I've never understood anyway why countries don't want their news to get out, or how America media doesn't want you finding out news sources from other countries. The weird geographical blocks we have on knowledge and news is weird to me. I understand copyrights for TV shows and movies or whatever, but news? It's almost like they're just trying to keep people uneducated and not knowing what's going on. Which, well, considering how American media is, I get it. Because they really do try to control the narrative. And I'm betting if other countries are the same way, yeah, now we know why they try to keep us dumb. But yeah, that's what I know right now. Brood and Bound, if you know anything else, please feel free to drop it in the chat. But that's what we know right now. I don't know I'm sure we're going to find out more as the sun comes up here in America and over the next 5-6 hours or 10 hours, or at least the next 24, we're going to know a lot more. We'll also see if, as you said, if Pakistan does strike back, if Pakistan does, have to have that honor of doing something back, or maybe it does get bigger. I'm going to go with you and say that they probably won't, maybe a little more to save face, and then it's going to stop. But yeah, I don't see nuclear. But it's never good when two nuclear countries start dinking around with each other. So, strikes took at 1 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay. I just know I heard about it right around 6 p.m. my time Central, U.S. Central here. Hasn't been any more developments. Yeah, I was looking for fresh, and that's why I said I found some of these that were updated 3:22 a.m., which is not too long before I came live. Well, that was East Coast, but yeah. But I was looking for fresher stuff, and yeah, there hasn't been a lot more going on. So, 2:23. So, yeah. But that's kind of what I was going to start off with. Slow burn. Now that regular people became the news, we are in better circumstances to get... Yes. And I will say that. You can really dislike social media, sometimes the internet, sometimes even these little things. Sometimes I think my life was a lot better before I had this little pocket brain with me at all times. And I agree with you, Slowburn. I think there's a lot more truth, honesty. People in India, people in Pakistan, anybody that's not living in, even some people in the dirt huts I've seen carrying these around on videos in other countries. We have these, and they got cameras, so yeah. And this isn't a new technology anymore. I mean, my God, these have been out since, I think I had my first actual cellular phone in 1991 or 2. It was not like this, but I had one. Old GTE wireless here in America. Got it at Radio Shack. Yeah. So these things are everywhere. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody can go and be a reporter. So yes. And I do think that a lot of times that's why this technology is good. The internet like this, where I can sit and stream and talk to you. Where you can come and inform me. We can keep each other informed and share stuff without having to wait for CNN to tell us what they feel like. Or even, NDTV telling us what they feel like. It's really nice and freeing. And yes, in America, the mainstream media hates it. Lefty legacy media really dislikes it. They used to love telling us what to think. So yeah, Slowburn, you are 100% right. You can get a lot more truth, a lot more honesty, a lot more facts, honestly. We really can. Just both countries are doing cabinet meetings. Okay, yeah, that's what I saw when it was going in the background here before. Well, that went nuts. Hang on. I don't like it being black. Ugh. Oof. Well, I'm not going to go back to the feed since it died. We'll just get off there. Sorry, I don't like the black background. I'll just go to YouTube and set my background again. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we'll just do that. That'll be quick. There we go. Let that go. Get the Blade Runner background going again. India has organized nationwide mock drills for air raid. I wasn't laughing at that one. It's the next one. 8 billion phones with cameras and still no updated pictures on Bigfoot. Yeah. Foundation of Pakistan was based on the ideology of hating Hindus in India. Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, man. I don't know. I just don't think the world needs one more flippin' thing to worry about right now. But I don't think this is going to turn into a Russia-Ukraine thing. So, which, I don't know how many people know, how many of you guys know the background there. But there's a lot of blame to go around on that cluster F. That's a stupid thing going on over there. Well, the thing is, once again, brood and bound, we like we discussed, man, the Muslims can't live with nobody. Even that Pakistani defense chief over here, Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir, God, I'm going to say that wrong, said Hindu and Muslim can't live together. And I'm assuming she's probably Muslim. So even she knows they can't. So, good grief. Muslims, start looking inward. Of course, I don't think they care because their whole ideology is to take over. And I hate when people try to say it's not. They're at war with everyone. The attacks going, I have friends in the UK, and the attacks that happen over there are usually the Muslims. Well, there's our war with almost every nearing country, Afghanistan, India, even Iran. Wow. So, wow. So that is different sects of Islam then, sorry. So it's like Protestant and Catholic going at it. Jeez, even though Muslims inside India are sympathetic. Well, you know what? That happens a lot. There are Arab Muslims inside Israel that support Israel. Partially because I know they live in a better place. Yeah, it's crazy that there's so much differentiation between our religions. So I believe Jeff right up there called it right away, or was it Slowburn? One of you guys said right out, just short and sweet. It's all about religion. So yeah, that is craziness. Western media shares the propaganda of Muslim. Yeah. Yeah, brood and bound. We get the same thing about Israel. Oh my God, these people are so horrible. Israel's like, we got tons of, Muslims that live here and vote. We got Arabs that live here and vote and work every day. We're not doing anything to them. We're only doing stuff to the bad people. People lobbing rockets into our country for 50 years of my life. I'm not that old. I can't overstep there. So yeah, Western media has definitely picked sides in all of these. And that is like you guys are saying, the cell phones. Cell phones, people being able to do this. It is really good to get things out. 17 Islamic State flags. One thing in common. The colors are the colors of the 4 horsemen. Wow. I knew about the 4 horsemen, but I didn't know, wow, 17 Islamic State flags. Good grief. Then what? Yeah, India has other minorities as well. Paris Jews, Christians, they never had any problems. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how many religions. I'm not going to say Christianity's been totally good on getting along with everybody. But, for a long time now, we have. Christians have done decent. They've done decent lately. But yeah, there hasn't been a lot of Christian river to the sea type stuff going on for a long time. So yeah. It's crazy that it is the biggest thorn in the religious side of the world right now is Islam. So, ugh. And I mean, as we said a little bit ago, Islam is at war with itself. They're trying to off their own. So, at least they don't do terrorist attacks in the name of religion. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of Jesus Akbar where they do, going on. I don't hear of a lot of Hindus doing that either. So, even though I have some friends in the UK that say some of the Hindus there are pretty pokey with sharp objects, shall we say. I got one friend, he lives in, parts of Scotland, and he went down to London, and he's like, yep, I ain't doing that again. So, yeah. But I don't think there's much more time we can spend on that right now. So, I don't think there's a lot of new updates. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to talk about it anymore. But I am glad you guys have come in and given me a little more info. And I think we'll move on to something a little lighter. A little bit lighter. Actually, I'm going to head back over here one more time. I want to see where they're at with this. I just want to see if they do have any type of update or something coming in.
Indicated that further attacks against India were impending. There was thus a compulsion both to deter and to preempt.
Okay. Yep, that's what I saw earlier.
Capability, as shown to you, a niche technology weapons with careful selection of warheads was ensured so that there will be no collateral.
We can say whatever we want, but I'm not in YouTube. I'm not idolizing the ending of people's lives. But isn't the technology amazing? I mean, imagine the countries over there. I admit we are definitely ahead of them in this type of technology. I mean, we can read the date of a dime from some of the military satellites in orbit. It is insane, the technology we've got. But the technology for warfare worldwide is both scary and impressive all at once. I mean, she is talking about being able to target things using satellite uplinks and live feeds. I mean, it is amazing. And I do think, as bad as it can make war even worse with the weaponry we have now and the tech, it can also make it not turn into a full war because you can target. And then you can look at the world and go, look, we are not lying to you. Look at what we just targeted. We have tons of data for you to look at. You have satellite feeds. You have your own satellite feeds you can look at. See what we did? We just hit this. And I think that is a big deal. I think sometimes this level of technology stops things from escalating to a full war. And yeah, it can be scary, it can be ugly, this type of tech, but it's amazing because back, you go back 50, 90 years ago or more, you couldn't have this level of precision where you had to go in and be nasty and maybe make a bigger mark going in where it did escalate things. So, Oh, the problem is that Muslims never seem to accept that Islam is radical. They never call out. Yeah, Islam, my problem, and Islam has got a issue where they are still, they have not advanced. Even Christians have advanced in time. They don't act like they did in the Middle Ages and before. They've advanced with the times. They've realized, okay, this is not right anymore. This is not acceptable. They have moderated and changed a little. Still stuck with their scripture pretty well, but actually moderated and changed, where a lot of Muslims act like they are still did 1,000+ years ago. They haven't changed much. And that's a bad thing in a modern world. India used French missiles. Yes, I was seeing that where they have the French jets. They have bought a bunch of French jets not too long ago. Slowburn has a good question. Brudenbound. I'm going to give this one to you right away. Do women go to battle over there? I don't think they do. Here, let's see here. Oh, that's weird. Let's see. Indian soldiers out ready for women in combat. No, Indian women are allowed to serve in combat roles in the Indian Air Force and Navy, but not in the armies. So not boots on the ground. So like America, pretty much. You can be on ship, you can be on sub, you can fly planes, you can fly copters, but you can't boots on the ground. Okay, so there we go. Okay, the women are drafted. Now, I can be controversial and say women in America should be drafted. If women, I've got this belief that you don't get equal rights without equal treatment. I'm not saying I want women in combat, but I'm just saying women, if they want equal rights, you got to have the equal downsides. I don't like that women in America can vote to send men to war and do so heavily worldwide. When women can vote, they have no problem voting for wars. In fact, women vote for wars in governments more than men do. Because men know they're the ones going to go get their leg blown off. Women go, I ain't going to see it. They have no problem sending the men off to war. Maybe if we had women in combat, there'd be less votes by women in governments, especially in America, to do these dumb wars. That's just me. Now, here's something I can ask you guys real quick. This is not quite on the subject of this conflict. How do you feel about a woman who has never served in combat, been shot at, anything like that, who is somehow a colonel over people who did serve multiple tours in combat, been in military, the guys who've been in the military and done so much crap, but have to answer to somebody who's never seen it? I have a problem with that. I have the problem with that in any form. Male, female, I don't care if it's a police force. When you have the Leos out there on the street all day, but they're answering to somebody who was advanced as a paper pusher or something, is now a colonel or a higher up lieutenant in a police force. And the guys who are actually out doing it, boots on the ground, taking the shots, doing the hard work, are the ones that have to salute them and listen to them. I have an issue with that. It's not sexist. It's just, I don't like anybody that was not combat telling a combat person. I'm a woman and I can say experience and skill should matter. Yeah. I don't think there should be mixed, if women ever do go to combat, I don't think there ever should be mixed platoons. Men are hardwired genetically to watch out for women and protect them. And men will put themselves at huge risk over an injured woman in the platoon over an injured man. Where the injured man, they'll drag him along, or They know he may get shot, but they don't want to put the woman in that line of fire. I think it's a problem. You don't mix them in a combat situation if there's ever an issue where that comes up. Now, all female platoons or something, I could, if we had to go that far. But I'm not saying I want women to be drafted. I just don't like the inequality of rights. How's that? A strong man will now follow the lead of a woman with a few exceptions. You could be right, Jeff. I don't know. I mean, didn't UK do decent under Margaret Thatcher? There's been some other female leaders around the world that have done pretty good. But those will probably be your exceptions. But yeah. I think some women can definitely be strong leaders, but it is not a normal thing for a lot of them. Yes, we all have our strengths, men and women both. And trust me, us men have our weaknesses, and sometimes our our ability to, hey, look at this, let's go and take an umbrella and jump off the garage roof, that type of crap, is a little bit of a downside. Not a lot of women. I don't think a lot of the extreme sports and crazy crap in the world were women going, hey, Janet, look at this. Let's try this. Let's have a few beers and give this a shot. That's men. So, yeah, women are a little more self-preservationist. How's that? Oh, heck. All right, let's go back over here. All right, guys, we're going to move a little bit away from this. This is a quick little thing I wanted to talk about from Vanity Fair. This is the craziest crap from the left. Vanity Fair, why are Americans so obsessed with protein? Blame MAGA. And as soon as you read that, I feel brain cells die. I mean, really? Now, protein is MAGA. Which is funny because a lot of people, center and right, always say the far lefties are very beta, very soy, very tofu based. And, well, maybe it's true because here's the left bitching and whining that, oh my God, the right and center people like meat. Ew. Well, yeah, protein's what helps your brain function, helps your muscles grow, helps your bones and stay strong, and it runs a lot of your brain cells, which is maybe why lefties have got a problem. If they think protein, not just meat, but protein in general is icky. What? From the Liver King to the Podcast Bros to RFK Jr.'s Maha constituents, America's infatuation with protein has reached a fever pitch. It's undeniably gendered. What? This is by Keziah Weir. I'm going to tell Keziah right now, or Kezia, my wife will get pissed if we don't have meat every day. Are you kidding? Or protein shakes, or all the above. Are you kidding? Protein builds strong minds and bodies. Countries that use a lot of protein have the stronger women and men. They're doing better with having babies and children growing up. This is craziness. Connie, how you doing, hon? Good morning, Connie. Hey, no problem, Slow Burn. Thank you very much. And don't thank me as much. I mean, I'm here, and I know a little, but thank Broodbound. She really seems to have her crap in line, so I appreciate that. I really do. So thank you very much, Broodbound. So, yeah, thank you very much, Slow Burn. We're going to talk more about it probably tomorrow or tomorrow night. If I do a Red Eye stream, we'll know more about it by then, too. And hell, for all we know, it'll be done and over. That's what I'd hope. Americans obsessed with protein. Are you kidding? I'm not saying you got to look like this. I like how they show extreme, dude. They show the extreme. You know, not everybody has to look like that. Just, why is it being in shape? I mean, look at this guy. He's not huge. He's in good shape, got some muscle. How is that a bad thing? How is this guy? He doesn't look monster, just in semi-good shape. How is it that the left, and yes, Vanity Fair is left, how is it the left is against being in shape, having a healthy, strong body? Protein, even if you don't work out, you like Connie said, protein is the building blocks of your very skin, your hair, your muscles, your bones. It makes brain cells work better. Sorry about that. It makes brain cells work better. Yeah, so the very fact that the left, it almost goes with all the stereotypes that the right and center people make about lefties. That they're weak, noodle-armed little soy and tofu boys and women. But yeah, maybe this is why they're unbalanced. Because protein also balances your brain chemistry. I'm pretty good at nutrition. I have a lung and digestive condition where I gotta do the right things to keep my weight up or to try to build any muscle. It's not easy. And I've learned a lot from nutritionalists at my care center for my lung problem about how you need protein to have balanced brain function. And I think this actually leads into, I know what they're trying to take a shot at the center and right people who like meat and proteins, but I think it's showing we have a problem where we should be examining the mental processes of these people who do not like protein, who want to crap on it, who say, oh, horrible, oh, they want to pick on call this guy a meathead. Well, hey, he's gonna be, you take one of him over 20 of the soy betas we saw taking over the University of Washington last night. The guys who every time they talk, they still do this break every time. You know that teenage, the voice does when they try to talk. In a survival situation, protein is easy to get. Lack of carbohydrates is the trick. Yeah. But we need the protein. You need carbs for energy, but you gotta have protein. You ever watch those shows, Alone and Stranded and Alone and stuff like that? What do they have to have? They can have carbs, but if they don't have the protein to keep their weight up, keep their energy going, keep their function, they even get dumber. They can feel their brain slowing down without the proteins. Carbs will give you that kick of energy, but doesn't keep you going. I'm doing the carnivore keto over here now. Feel fantastic. I do a mix. I'll give you a little bit about me. My lung and digestive system problem has a side effect where a lot of people develop a type of diabetes. Well, I wasn't there, but my blood sugar was getting up to the point where my A1C, and they had me monitor, and I was paying attention. It was a little high even for some of my condition. And they started to suggest that maybe they're going to have to do some insulin stuff. And I said, you know what? Nope, I'm done. I'm not adding one more medication, one more routine, no more crap to my already pile of stuff. So what I did some research, talked to my mother-in-law. She's done some work with her husband. I did a lot of reading, and I changed my diet. Sure, there's some stuff I miss, but I dropped my A1C by myself really well, in fact, well into the zone, in fact, almost too low. They'd actually like it a little higher now, and I've maintained it for 2 to 3 years now. I haven't needed all the insulins. I haven't needed any medications. I don't need none of it. So yeah, diet can do it. Diet, and then some of it, I do a mix, like bread, keto bread. Instead of noodles and, pasta, the mushroom noodles work really good. Stuff like that. I do eat a lot of meat and cheese, which I already did before, so woohoo. So, if I drink, energy drinks are all the 0 carb, so I'm good either way. Read up on rabbit starvation. What? Read up on rabbit starvation? What the hell? I'll have to look that up. Diabetics need protein. Carbs turn to sugar. Yes. It's amazing to me how many people do not realize. My doctor actually told me something. He goes, you are better off to take a couple spoonfuls of sugar in your mouth than to have a lot of pasta if you're a diabetic. The pasta, the carbs actually turn into more bad sugars than just having the straight sugar. So yeah, a lot of people just pound carbs in our society. The carbs is insane what we pound in our standard diets. Once I started looking, holy crap. I mean, the amount of carbs, now that I've cut that back and eat more, I mean, I just stick with mostly the meat and cheeses and keto bread and some of the other stuff I like. Yeah, I'm with slow burn, man. You do feel better. You don't have that big rise after and fall after meals. In between meals, you're a lot more steady. You don't get that fall asleep spike. You don't get that drop. It's really nice. I'm not going to say I don't cheat once in a while, but you know. Yeah, I've never heard of rabbit starvation. I have to look that up. Yeah, lots of carbs climb the blood sugar. Oh, hell, climb it. The carbs spike it. I mean, when I was learning, I did some experimentation just to watch. I was checking my blood sugar. I was checking just to watch and learn how things work. I know there are certain carby or sugary things I can have if I want to cheat just before I go to the gym. Oh, yeah. Before I go to the gym, I'll cheat with a good sugary, protein bar or something I shouldn't have most of the time. But, man, I burn it right off. And I come out and I've tested, and, man, I was good. Like I said, I've been able to maintain without any meds of any type now for, I believe it's right, 3 years. And they're happy and shocked. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to go meds. Doctors are too easy to put you on meds. But I cannot believe, how can they blame everything as MAGA? I'm sure they're going to blame Trump somehow. Trump is meat. Protein. My gods. Of course, I have a problem with I don't know if you've seen these in grocery stores. They have them around here. I have to make fun of some of the weird vegetarian foods. Apologize, you vegetarians, but when I see a product called Tofu Pups, they're tofu hot dogs. And it says, flavored like hot dogs. I'm like, if you don't like meat, you shouldn't get to eat shit flavored like meat. Enjoy your tofu. Don't have tofurkey and stuff you try to flavor like meat. If meat is bad, you got to just stay away from it. Hey, Far North Dirt Tracking. I got it right. How you doing, man? Make meat great again. Oh, yeah. Yes, 100%. I don't think, I'm in the Midwest. In America, we have herds of meat animals everywhere. We are carnivores here. We really are. For every salad, there's 3 steaks going down. Yeah, Bunny, you've been diabetic for 30 plus years. You have 2 different insulins. See, I don't want to get to that level. I corrected myself before I ever got there. And I've got friends who have lost body parts because they wouldn't either go to the doctor and get themselves on their meds, or if they were on it, it's still huge spikes because they would still not stick with a diet. Even with insulin and everything else, if you are just eating crap, you're still going to have huge spikes and falls. I have a friend now, and with my lung problem, I wasn't supposed to live past, I wasn't even supposed to see 20. Well, now he has 4 stints. He's had a couple heart attacks. He's lost a toe or 2. Because he wouldn't stick with diet. I mean, it's craziness, even with his meds. I think he's finally got it around where he's going to not see his kids grow up if he don't stop it. So yeah, it's tough. But just reading this title made me go, what the colorful F? I like how they say not only is it MAGA is obsessed with protein, but then they say it's gendered. My wife loves her hamburgers and hot dogs and brats and everything else. Dude, I don't think she could go more than 48 hours without meat. So, enter your own joke there. Whoops. Yeah, TikTok content creators are hawking powders from Just Move and Rise. Netflix is teasing its documentary Untold, The Liver King, which tracks the rise and fall of the raw meat enthusiast. I'm not sure I'm recommending that, because the human digestive system does not digest raw meat well, let alone certain meats could really off you. Influential podcast bros, from the physician Peter Attia to the very well-paid Joe Rogan. Gotta get Joe Rogan in there, don't they? They really keep trying to push him away. Swap protein-heavy diet anecdotes and share their current state of protein supplementation. One of this year's most talked about shows, Season 3 of The White Lotus, derived a whole thread of narrative tension from what can only be described as Chekhov's protein shake. Yeah, the thing is, if you look at what protein can do, especially in your older years, when you're young, yeah, it's good for you. Growing and making your body strong and muscle and everything else. When you get older, you need protein even more. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of our older citizens drop their protein intake. The ones that don't, the ones that keep, whether it's protein shakes or eating meat and milk and everything else, I know it's calcium, but there's protein in there, but they keep that going, do better. They live more active lives. They have less mental decline. So, I don't know what they're aiming for here. What are they aiming for? A very weak society? People with even more mental instability and physical weakness? I don't get it. Shortening lifespans? I don't understand what we're trying to do here. Lost my hearing left ear. It's mom and dad's family. It runs in my dad's family for sure. My mom's family, I believe, also. But then you add my condition to it, and it really amps it up. But it is tough. But I will put out there, and I'm saying talk to your doctor, but also do a lot of reading, because doctors, unfortunately, are stuck, and I'm not giving medical advice, but doctors are stuck in a certain thing. Okay, for everything we need to give a med. Everything needs a prescription. That is not always true. Not always. I'm not the only one. I run into other people who've controlled their issues or headed off diabetes totally like I did. Nope, I'm not even close now. But, yeah, I don't know if my body will ever... Sometimes they say you can actually make your body... If you stay off all that stuff for a long time, you don't see the spikes if you do have more carbs later. I'm not saying go crazy, but if you have a carby meal here or there, you don't have the huge spikes because your body is... You can make things a little better. B12, B6 are essential building blocks. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think they're doing here? Is this just more Trump derangement syndrome? Is this... I mean, what is this? I don't even understand what they're trying to do here. Why are Americans so obsessed with protein? Did you not listen in science class in junior high? I mean, I think we're taught in grade school. Hey, eat your hamburger, eat your hot dogs. That protein's good for you. Protein will help you grow. Protein will help your bones. Protein will help your muscles. Protein will help your brain function right. And protein will help slow blood sugar spikes. So does fat, which a lot of protein has in it. So I don't understand what they are trying to do here. What do you guys think they are doing with this? Are they just trying to okay the weak people we're making now? The very timid, they're not timid in big groups, but alone they're very noodle-armed. You don't see a lot of flexing with biceps from the tofu soy people. They don't act like grown-ups. They don't look like grown-ups. When they get older, they're going to have major problems. They've already got mental problems on a bunch of mental drugs because their brains are uneven, because they're eating stuff unnatural to people. So I am very unsure of what they are trying to do with this ad. Or this story. It's stupid. It's bullcrap. It's anti-science. Lefties. You love science. I just don't understand. The infatuated protein has reached a fever pitch. No, because a lot of people's diets are crap. They weren't getting much protein. Getting way too many carbs. And then there was way too much emphasis on just eating fiber and salads. A lot of people lost track of protein. So I don't know. What do you guys think? And I'm seriously asking, what do you think they're aiming for with this? Because I don't get it. Is this just crap on anybody they consider MAGA, right, center? I don't know. I understand. And I say center because I'm more of a centrist with a little conservative leaning. I know a lot of center people that eat lots of meat. It's the ones on the left that are a little spotty. So I just don't get what they're trying to do. My mom's heart surgeon told us if you don't swim and don't fly, don't eat it. If you don't swim and don't fly, don't eat it. I eat more chicken and turkey and fish and a lot of heart disease in my mom's family. Yeah. Yeah. And diabetes can amp up heart disease. But like I said, what do you guys think they're trying to do with this story? What are they giving the soy beta people the I won't touch meat, or I don't want to work out, I don't want to exercise? Are they giving them a pass here? Is this like fat acceptance and the fat love movement? Is this now a anti-protein movement, an anti-exercise movement? Because I also seen articles where they say that exercise is a conservative thing. It's a right-leaning thing. It's a MAGA thing. Exercise? Jogging is now bad? I mean, lifting weights? Lifting weights helps your bones stay dense. Helps bone density. For somebody with my lung problem, they did what they call a DEXA scan on me. My bones are much more dense than people with my lung problem, and how digestive goes with it, that are 20 years younger than me. The difference they found? Duh. I lift heavy weights regularly. These people don't do nothing. Lifting hard weights makes your body strong. It builds muscle and builds bone to deal with it. The human body is greatly adaptable. Beef liver once a month is must for vitamin A. Oof, I'm not a big liver fan. Sounds like you're against being healthy. I think this is a crap diet acceptance. I think this is, we just can't, we don't want to make people eat something they may not want, or just, I really think it's anti-health. Yeah, I'd go with you there, Bunny. They're being anti-health. But yeah, I just thought this was stupid. Wanted to ask you guys about it and throw out my thoughts on it, because yeah, I have protein sometimes before I go to the gym, sometimes after. I have a problem absorbing it. I eat a lot of meat. I eat a lot of cheese. I don't get it. Yeah, I think it's just stupid. Just stupid. All right, guys, we're going to head on over to X and have a little bit of fun. And then we'll be out of here in a little bit. And thank you very much for stopping in. A little bit of throwback from last night when I was talking about the Antifa people are coming alive, even though like they ever go to sleep in Seattle. They've been going active in Seattle for a long time. That's why Seattle has got people leaving. Businesses, their downtown still has never recovered because they don't stop them. This is the protesters last night. They were not protesters. They were rioters. They took over a building, a brand new building. They damaged it. They started fires, walked the cops back because the cops there are told to be wieners. Yeah, they caused over $1 million in damage to this new building, this new engineering building. All because they wanted to play Palestine support. This is stupid. Every one of these people should have been flipping arrested, and then they should see actual jail time. Once again, this is how we're going to fix this. Start jailing these little lefties. These soy beta, squeaky-voiced, noodle-armed people that hate protein aren't going to do well in jail. And once they start telling their buddies, because they're like all brave when they think they're going to go into court, get a fine and walk out. Or maybe do 5 days in some little light fuzzy place and be right out. You give them 1 year in at least medium security. Oh yeah. They're going to start telling friends, or other people going to go, whoa, holy shit, a year, what? Once they start telling their friends when they come out, this shit will stop. It's just like what California did, where you can steal up to $950 without any consequences. What happened? Crime went through the roof. Nothing is done to these people. No real consequences. They never follow the law. This much damage is a felony. That is not a misdemeanor. But they will treat them like misdemeanor. Even if it's their 50th misdemeanor, they'll treat them like it's their first and give them a slap on their wrist and maybe make them pay $500 court costs and release them. That's it. $1 million damage. A lot of it's taxpayer money. Boeing only helped with 10% of this. The rest is taxpayer dollars. These little nuggets, in a matter of like 6 hours, did $1 million+ damage. I've seen some others say that it was almost $2 million in damage to a brand new engineering building. Great job. Far north, from here in New Zealand, these headlines seem like part of the Trump hate parade. Ah, yes. Yep, we call it Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, which now they are also after MAGA. The RFK's MAGA, Make America Healthy Again, which is insane because now you got these food industry people lobbying with the government people to stop making our food healthier. That is insane. Holy crap. Ugh. But yeah, this is stupid from last time. I can spend too much time on it, but just stupid. All right, we're going to head around and look at a few things I saw on here. Make sure my headphones reconnect. Let's see, what was... That's my posts on my Lyons Den WS6 for my stream. See, I don't understand this. Ian Miles Chong, imagine flying Frontier Airlines being treated like this. He showed up 30 minutes before his flight, and these Frontier Airlines employees refused to check him in because he didn't agree with a $25 agent assist fee to check in, even though he said he would pay it. Why do you need a $25 agent assist fee to check in? You just go up to the counter and go, hey, I'm here for my flight. You know what? Frontier was charging you $25? Whoa, what the shit is that?
I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. Check in.
And you're not getting on your flight. They made that flight. You did. And you think you're gonna check me in? I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
Yeah, I paid for a
$25 for an
ticket.
agent assist fee, and you check in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said
So they want $25 just to confirm that he's there. That's it. He's paid for his ticket. Now, is this actual or real for Frontier? Or is this they pulling some bullshit? $25 fee, and there we go with the attitude again. He's being very calm.
said that I
Get on your flight.
I
And
just
you thought
said
you
that
were gonna
I
get on your
would
flight.
pay the
And you thought you were gonna
$25.
get on your flight. And you thought you were gonna get on your flight. And you thought you were gonna get on your flight. And you thought you were gonna get on your flight.
I literally
What is-
paid for a
that's
ticket.
funny?
I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check.
This is customer service? I don't want to go racial with this, but it's almost seeming like I want to know what race this guy is. Because they seem to be going out of the way to be nasty pricks about this. I don't understand how anybody's going to charge you $25 to walk up. You already paid for your ticket. And go, okay, give us $25 to check you in. I would love to know if that's real or bullshit. These people are just doing it themselves. Either way, they're acting like idiots. I hope this gets tons of views everywhere. I hope Frontier catches huge hell for this, and this guy gets a bunch of free tickets out of it.
And you will never fly
You were
on
about to
Frontier
let me
Airlines.
check in. You were about to let me check in,
Oh,
and you
make-
did not in your personal space.
You're in
This
my
is
face.
not
I
your
work
personal
here.
space.
This is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
Frontier.
personal space.
Yeah, he's on the other
Work
side
for
of the
a company.
counter.
This is not your personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket, and they are not letting me check in. For no reason.
And the sheer
whatsoever.
attitude is my problem.
I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Wow, that's an unhelpful group of people. Far North, what's with the immediate phone stuff these days? I think it's... Well, okay, sometimes I understand pulling out a phone to cover your ass. I have a dash cam in my car for that reason. These are nice to help cover your ass in certain situations. But a lot of these people pull out their phones now because they think they're being cool. They think they're getting up on something. They can put it online and show their buddies, I showed this person. That's what a lot of it is. A lot of it is trying to be famous, trying to act really cool like you did something. I showed this man at work, stuff like that. I showed this MAGA turd, I think that's what a lot of it is. Very, very few. This guy is doing it for proof. This guy's doing it for proof because he can say whatever and they'll lie. You know these ladies would lie their asses off. Even the guy down at the end who's being a total jackass to this man. He's done nothing. He's being very calm. He's filming to cover his ass. So now this goes viral. He can go, and if he wants to sue Frontier, he can now. He's got proof. Now those ladies, they're filming just because they want to be shits. He's got his, get mine out. And now I'll post this, you chud. I'll show you. And there'll be leftards and dumbasses on the internet, on TikTok or X. They'll go, yeah, you showed him. That's what a lot of it is. So there's two sides here. One guy's got a camera out because he's being wronged and he's going to have proof. They're doing it just to be jerks and try to go and show their videos to their like-minded people to get it's like getting a little social capital out of it. That's what it is there. All right, so... Oh, it unmuted. That is a new thing going on X. Drives me nuts. All right. Here you go. You're going to love this. He converted to Islam and now identifies as a trans Muslim woman. As we were discussing about the India Muslim thing, Muslims are arguing with everything on the planet, including themselves. I don't think this person knows the beliefs on Muslims to do with men and women. I don't think they understand. I don't think you're going to be welcomed.
Salam, everyone. I just gotta ask, who's cosplaying? See, cosplaying is when you dress up as something that you aren't or someone you aren't. I am a Muslim woman.
Okay. Hippity hop yourself into a mosque and tell them that. Hippity hop yourself into Pakistan, India, Israel, Gaza, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, and probably 20 other countries, and you tell them that and see how that goes. Does the phrase FAFO or the word FAFO mean anything to you? I would say bad idea. I don't think you know what you're saying. It's either stupidity or arrogance that they say and do stuff like this.
I wear what a Muslim woman wears. I dress like that.
Yes, and during Halloween, I did this once. I dressed up as a cowboy, like a farmer type, and I had Velcro gloves and a blow-up sheep that was tied to my front end. Get the idea? It doesn't mean I'm a sheep banger. I can dress up in something, doesn't mean I am. Just like you can dress up in that, doesn't mean you is. You's playing Halloween 365 days a year. So that's exactly what's going on.
Who's cosplaying here?
You is.
You need to learn the words that you're trying to use because they ain't working for you.
I think you need to learn what Muslim woman is. You are asking to get yourself hurt in the wrong places. I'm telling you, don't do this. Don't you be trying this in the Muslim community. That is a bad idea. And I am trying to help you here. You do not want to be violenced. Do not play these stupid games in the wrong places because you will win stupid prizes. I do not understand this idolization of a lot of people in the first world nations of Islam. Christianity is a lot more accepting for all their problems, a lot more accepting than Islam to stuff like this. So I do not know where they got this idea in a lot of first world nations that Islam is so amazing. It is not acceptable to do this in their religion. Jihadi John. Nice. Occupational forces. How's it going? They're all Who wants to be a millionaire? Phone a friend for cloudage and victim points. Thank you. You put it much better than I did. Yes. Big Mama is always on speed dial. But you're right. It's the clout and the victim points and the I got this chud. I showed him. Yeah. These are people, man, what is with customer service anyway? These ladies have zero idea what customer service is. She starts off just being nasty. The other one's being nasty. They're laughing at this guy. So yeah. Sorry to bounce, but yes. Occupational forces is 100% right. A tea, hot towel on your head doesn't make you Muslim. Yes, I would love to know what this person did to become Muslim. I get confused. Sorry, YouTube, I get confused. I don't think this person, what did they do where they can claim I'm a Muslim woman? What did you do for that? I would love to know how you claim that. Because it says, I'm wearing the outfit.
Salam, everyone. I just gotta ask, who's cosplaying?
Watch this.
See, cosplaying is when you dress up as something that you aren't or someone you aren't. I am a Muslim woman.
Because?
I wear what a Muslim woman wears.
That does not make you Muslim.
Dress like that.
So
who's cosplaying here?
Just because you dress up like something doesn't make you it. This is stupid. This is dangerous. I'm Muslim because I dress like one. Holy crap, that's dumb. I can dress like a NASCAR driver. Doesn't mean I am one. If I walk around wearing like a Cubs jersey, don't mean I'm a baseball player. I don't know what's wrong. And I will say it. You know this person's a lefty. What is wrong with the lefty brain? This is everybody gets a trophy generation. Everything comes out of your mouth is rainbows and unicorn farts. You were never grounded. You were told that words hurt and that the grasshopper was the hero, not the ant in the story. These people are deranged. So yeah. A tea towel head doesn't make you Adam Gadon 2.0. I don't know that one. Identity politics must mean cosplay. It does. This person thinks because they dress as a Muslim woman, they are a Muslim woman. Which is funny because I saw Piers Morgan pin a couple people down like this. He'd go, okay, fine. If you can say you're a woman, then I can say I am a black woman. Well, you can't do that. He's like, can I say I'm a black man? No. Well, you can't change your race by saying it, but you're changing your whole gender. He was pinning him down that, but okay, so where's that line happen? You can just say, I identify as a he or she now, but I can't identify as a brown? That is weird. You can identify as a deerkin, as wolf self. You can tell the school you go to that you need a litter box, but you can't say you're a different race. Which I don't like that term because we're all the human race. You can't just say you're a different ethnicity. Ethnicity is the proper term. It's a paint job. Some are browner, some are pinker, whatever. But it's insanity that you can say this. Now I can just say I'm a religion because I dress it. But this same person would probably give Pierce Morgan crap. He goes, well, now I identify as a black gay woman. And they would go, you can't do that. And they would okay everything except the black part. Makes no sense. There is no brain cells in these people. Sorry, I've got that way too close. So yeah, I don't understand it. And my brain has problems with things that are so illogical. I'm not Spock. I'm not, I'm not him. I'm not a Vulcan. But man, certain levels of illogic make certain brain cells start crying. This guy is a few short. 100%. Yeah, I don't understand how they think they just throw on a Halloween costume and say, I'm a whole different religion. Fafo. Yeah, like this one. It did nothing. Pretty much looks the same. Very close. How much money did you spend? I'm just saying. That is messed up. Ugh. Well, if that guy was a few short, Bunny, what do you think of this person? I don't see the big change. Not for the money they obviously spent. Most of the biggest change is how you did your hair and stuff, and that's about it. Just saying. If I'm walking down the street, I'm going to have a certain radar going off. Don't want to say that on YouTube, though. But yeah, I have to have a radar going off. Plumb crazy, 100%. Occupational forces. Are you, I'm just, your name, your handle there, are you ex-military or something? Just asking, because I was wondering what you thought of this whole India-Pakistan kerfuffle. As I had somebody on here a little bit ago who knew a lot about it and was really, really gave me a lot of information she did. So, just curious. Because I was going to ask you, since you came in later, do you think this will escalate? She seemed to have a lot of info about being over there. And what I've read, I agree with her that I think Pakistan will probably try to take a little bit of honor shots back. But I don't think it's going to get huge. At least I sure hope not. I don't think it'll go nuclear, even though I'm a little worried about two countries that are nuclear powers duking it out. You know, they're smaller nukes, but like I said earlier, a small nuke is like saying I got hit by a small car on the expressway. It's still, getting hit by a car and still a nuke. I'm European. Europe is occupied lands. Ugh. Yeah, you don't have to tell me where you are, but yeah, I agree. I have a lot of friends that I met online because I've had multiple YouTube channels. I've done a lot of things. I've been on probably YouTube for 10 years between multiple channels. And yes, I still talk to a lot of people over in certain parts of Europe, in the UK, northern and southern, friends in New Zealand, friends in Australia, friends in France. I got a couple friends in Germany. And yeah, they are really worried about what's going on over there. And I will say this, our media over here, left and right alike, are not talking enough about what's going on in Europe. I will say the right-leaning media is a little better about it, but the left is totally ignoring it because they don't want to shine the light that their beliefs are not only shit in America, but they're shit in Europe. And that Europe has gone nuck and futz and are farther along that trail of crap than America is, that Trump has actually stemmed that flow. If, let's just say Kamala Harris had won, 4 more years of what Biden did to us, we would be much closer to where you are in Europe right now with problems. They would have buried us in illegal aliens, had our borders open. They would have got their government disinformation board. They were trying to limit free speech, take away the Second Amendment. They were trying to do so much. So yeah, I do believe occupational forces that Europe is occupied lands. And I feel bad for a lot of you over there because you are losing your very identity in your countries. And this is not a shot at other nations or nationalities. But when the number one baby name in London is, what, Mohammed? That is scary. You are losing your whole identity. And I don't understand why it's okay for white countries to lose their identity, but nobody ever talks about how African countries should be becoming more white for balance. You never hear that about any majority brown country where they go, well, you should have more white people in there. Why don't you bring in more of those people to help change your society? Nope. I think we're in a worldwide, I think it's racism worldwide against white people. I really do. I think we are seeing racism worldwide, and I think in America, we're starting to turn against it. The whole phrase black fatigue has come up in America because people are tired of kowtowing to our black people who are always want to play victims, who always cause problems, who are causing most of our crimes, but expect special privileges. And I think worldwide we're seeing a lot of white hate. So I'm worried. There's only one way of life. They all know they've been fighting for hundreds of years. Yeah. I'm Irish. We are swamped with Indians. Yeah. Dude, there's an Irish guy I followed on... he doesn't do a lot of that serious stuff lately. But he talked about it. He's an Irish YouTuber, and he talked about it for a while. How just the government is not doing anything for the actual Irish people. And it's really, he sees the country in a huge problem. Yeah, I worry over there, man. And Galway is Muhammad as well. Wow, I did not know that. That is crazy. We definitely don't get enough information about it here. I have to search and find out anything, and then you still don't know what to believe. Now, far north dirt trekking. I got it wrong that time. Dang it. Doing good till then. You are in New Zealand, and you guys actually, if I remember right, you have a lot tougher immigration rules there. Also, Australia does, even though they've got some problems with people sneaking in, but they have pretty tough rules also. Tell me if I'm right, far north, but I believe you guys are not having quite as many problems because you are actually tough on immigration. Which is a good thing because it seems like your national identity has not been eroded. So, yeah. And I know you've got problems still. Some of the Maori, I know I may pronounce it wrong, but there's still sometimes a little kerfuffle going between them and, you know, the indigenous and what they call the non-indigenous people over there. Oh, yes, WEF, World Economic Forum, the ones that got busted out and tried to retract that post where they're talking about you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Yeah, those people. Boy, the internet sure grabbed up on that, thankfully, and got that out there before they retracted it. Yeah, you'll eat the bugs and live in the pod. You'll own nothing. Everything will be a rental. You'll not own a house. You'll not own a car. You'll not own a mixer to make cookies. Everything will be a rental society. Yes. The World Economic Forum is freaky. Black Island are playing the race card. Oh, they must have been talking to ours. The race card here has been the big thing for decades. And I think now it's getting worn thin. I don't think we're going to renew that race card. Well, we might, but it's going to be a different tier on that membership. I don't think it's the all-knowing, accepted everywhere race card anymore. It went from Visa to like the old Diners Club. You know, it's still out there, but you don't see it much. Or it's not accepted everywhere. I think that's where we are with the race card in this country. I think people are just about done being told we're horrible just because we're born with a certain skin tone, which is flippin' racist. We'd have to, let's see. So, yeah. Guilt us for slavery, but we were slaves ourselves. Exactly. And the funny thing is, now, occupational forces, here's my problem with any of that. Where do black people think slavery started? Just saying. Slavery was around thousands of years, even before your country was really a thing. It was going on back in the time of the pyramids being built. Before that, there's record of slave trade. Where did the slaving people come? Where were the big slave trades? Africa was going on across those tribes for thousands of years. It's still going on in Africa. There are more slaves in Africa and the Middle East now than ever in the history of the world. That is nuts. But somehow, first world nations and the European nations and America are getting the shit ton. Slavery. Hey, America's a young country. We're 250 years old. We weren't around the other 7,000 years of slavery or the current slavery. It's amazing how black people will still bitch about something that hasn't gone on for 150, 200 years in our countries, but they're not worried about where it's going on in the rest of the world still. Or that it was going on before, that their own people were and are slavers. The white people came over, there was already slaves in Africa. That's how they bought the slaves. Hey, look, there's a slave market. White people didn't come over and go, hey, brown people, make a slave market. They come over there and went, whoa, slave market. Hey. That's like old school Walmart. That's, I'm going to get myself in trouble here. That's like, hey, let's buy a tractor and a lawnmower and an oven. Yep. Oh boy. That's what happens when you're caffeine and not enough sleep. Yeah. Bunny, far north and occupational, yeah, dead on. And yes, there were slaves of all races. You can't even tell people. One of the first slave owners in America was a black man. And he owned black slaves and white slaves. There were black slave owners in America. The Irish were slaves. By the way, I am mixed Scotch-Irish. I'm kind of annoyed at myself. The Irish were slaves. Other white people were slaves and serfs. There were indentured servants of all types. The Chinese were. You name it. But it's the black people that want to be victims of slavery. Don't see them going back to Africa and bitching. Just saying. Yes, we are strict on it, but that depends on who's in power, who they let in. Yes, we do have a level of racism with our indigenous people, but over time it will get better. Good. Oh, the George Floyd. Oh, no. Oh, occupational forces. I really hope you don't get a Floyd. I hope you... Do you know how bad George Floyd was? A piece of shit. And I'm sorry, YouTube has nothing to do with race. Just, you look at that man's history. What a piece of shit. And it's insane how the left will idolize the scummiest among them. You can't get the center and right to idolize the good people like that. But the left will idolize the scummiest people and just use an excuse to riot or attack people. Craziness. I'm going to ask you guys, I don't do this enough, as my friend Mr. Miles always tells me on here. I should be saying this once in a while. Please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you don't, hey, I understand, but thank you for stopping by and spending any of your valuable time here. If you like, please share the stream or the channel with anybody you think like-minded who likes to discuss anything, mostly politics, but every once in a while some pop culture stuff also. But yes, please do hit the thumbs up, because at least shows YouTube that somebody doesn't mind me doing streams at 3 to 5 a.m. So yeah. Thank you very much, by the way, for spending any of your time here and stopping in. So far, I've had some really good information from you guys tonight and really good comments and feedback, and I appreciate it. And I apologize for what's on my screen. The Irish are slaves too, sold cheaper than the blacks. Yes, yeah. We still have jokes about it here. But we won't take the Irish. Come on, there's jokes. Remind people I'm Welsh, Irish. My dad's ancestors come here to America as indentured servant in 1636. Yeah? Yeah. A lot of Americans of all races can look back and go, we were here as indentured servants or slaves ourselves. Hell, the people that came to America and settled America were because they were being persecuted for religion, or they were poor and indentured in slavery class in the old world. So, they came here to escape that. and it took a long time, but we did. Let's see. They're using all the American liberal talking points. Ugh. Oh, I'm going to apologize. It's amazing how so many people in other countries have picked up on that stuff. Our left in America is a disease. They are totally disease. They're like a zombie apocalypse spreading. Not only that, but I see that it's not just the same talking points, but it's not just the white supremacy and stuff, but they're also I can't believe how people in other countries are protesting against Elon Musk. What type of shit stupidity is that? Elon Musk has been doing Doge in our government. Other than that, for the rest of the world, he just sells cars and makes rockets. What is it with people in other countries protesting and burning and beating up Teslas? Or are they just mad because he's cut off funding for bullshit stuff that went to their countries? That's what I'm wondering. Oh, let's duck clips. Yeah, that's pretty horrible, isn't it? We'll talk about her in a quick sec here. Just catch up with you guys. Using, man, I feel bad because our liberal left lunatics have spread their illness. Just recently, UK United Nations judge from Kenya was arrested for keeping slaves in the UK. Whoa! The police video is on here. You should look it up sometime. I might do that. Wow. UK judge arrested with slaves. Hang on. Let me see. I may not talk about it much tonight. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to keep that there and talk about it probably tomorrow. Thank you very much. I got to read more before I do it. I don't usually wade into too much without knowing a little something, but thank you very much. That is something that is interesting. Of course, it would be a United Nations judge. And look where it's from. Uganda. Where are all the black people to be angry about that? Yep, I saw that there. Occupational forces. Yep. All right, I'll look it up and have to do some looking at it today. All right. OMG, that looks so painful. What is with the lip filler stuff? I've even seen some guys do this. And yes, they're usually lefties. It is crazy. And that is insane. Why would you do that? Even if that's fresh and it causes that swelling, that is nuts. But I've seen women walking around like not quite this bad, but almost, who think this is a good look. I think there's 2 of them at my gym that are something like this to varying degrees. And you can tell they're getting filler. And I don't know why they think this is a good look. Even if it's a little less than this, it's a stupid look. And how is that comfortable? Got the country wrong. Oh, no problem, man. No, you're fine. No, I thank you for the information because that's something I'm interested in. I'd want to know about that. And I'll tell you this. People in America, a lot of us are people that are paying attention at least, are very worried about you guys over there. We're very worried about the UK because we think of you as like, honestly, our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers. We really feel for the UK. And, we fought a war to get away from you, but we really feel. And we do worry about Europe. And we see, a lot of us are seeing some horrible shit going on over there, and we're really freaked out. You guys need a Trump-like figure. I'm not saying a Donald Trump, but somebody really who will restore your national identities, who will cut off too much illegal immigration to help bring your economies back. And I think that's what's needed. I see a lot. There's some European nations now voting in more nationalist leaders who are standing up and doing like what Bukele did in El Salvador and what's gone on in Poland and a couple other places. So I really hope so. African cultural appropriation is what. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this. By the way, how many of you know her ghetto accent is fake? She talks ghetto, but you go back, look at her from 2 years ago, not a bit of that ghetto speech. That is crazy that to the left, that makes her cool when she speaks Ebonics or ghetto. That is what the Democrats think will get their point out there and get them more popular, is for her to go ghetto. And yes, it is a ghetto speech. Ghetto has no color, but she's talking ghetto. Now, Ebonics definitely has a color. You know, I know some white people that talk Ebonics. But she is speaking ghetto and Ebonics, and they think that's how she feels to connect with people. She thinks that'll draw black people back to the Democrats? To talk ghetto and talk like you're an idiot? That just makes no sense. Hey, Dr. Phil lips this much needs punishment. Yeah, well, you could say the same thing about doing other stuff to kids that doctors will do now. Transitioning children. You won't let these kids go drink a bottle of whiskey, drive a car, own a firearm, or eat chocolate pudding and chicken nuggets for every friggin' meal, but you'll let them F with their biology? That is nuts. Nuts. I know I'm dancing. I got to dance here on YouTube. I got to dance. I am on Rumble also, but Rumble I wouldn't have to dance. But yeah. All right, let's head on over and see if I had some good bookmarks. I can't remember if I bookmarked anything good. Oh, yeah, we saw that one. We saw that. Oh, here we go. Trump, this woman is pissed at Trump because starting today, she has to start paying back her student loans. Raise your hand. Is this what you voted for? Yes. Yes. And by the way, Joe Biden, the Supreme Court ruled he couldn't do this loan forgiveness shit twice. He stood up on TV and said, yeah, the Supreme Court ruled against me, but I'm going to do it anyway. But now they're telling Trump, you better obey these low-level district court judges. They have no standing or else. But Joe Biden and Democrats could ignore the Supreme Court. Keep that in mind. These district judges have no standing. I think Trump's being too nice. Trump needs to tell them, fuck you. Here's the Constitution. Here's separation of powers. You are a low-level district judge. You have no standing on immigration or the military or ordering me to bring people in here. He needs to tell them to F off. He's being too nice. Trump has a bad habit of being too nice. But this woman's mad. Too bad. I paid my loans back. My wife did too.
Telling their student loan story, let me tell you mine. So back in 2017, no.
Uh-oh, my headphones ain't connecting.
I was married at the time. I had 3 children, 6-month-old, a 1.5-year-old, and a 13-year-old. Decided to go back to school for...
Wait, what?
Well, since everyone is telling their student loan story, let me tell you mine. So back in 2017, no, 2007. I was married at the time. I had 3 children, 6-month-old, a 1.5-year-old, and a 13-year-old. Decided to go back to school for certified medical assistant.
All right, so wait a second. She's a grown adult. She has children. She's married. She decides to go to school, back to college. So what'd she think? That she just doesn't have to pay? She's obviously been living life, buying groceries, probably bought a car, a house, paid rent in an apartment, something. She's bought a CD. She's bought movies from Netflix, something. She's got to know when you do something, you pay for it. So suddenly on this, she thought, what? She could just do it, take out the loan, sign the papers, then go, no. The unrealism. All she needs is a nose ring.
Now back in 2007, you could not take those you cannot take that course at a community college. So I had to go to a private college.
Then
Either
you
do the
signed
diploma
that.
or the associates. I was talked into doing the associate degree because I was told in the future I'd probably not be hireable with just a diploma. False. They are now offering certified medical assistant classes at the community colleges.
That was your stupidity for not researching. It doesn't matter. You were a grown adult. You signed on the bottom line. When I signed on my house, I didn't get to just go, well, you know, I'm not going to pay on it. It's the same thing. You signed on the dotted line. You're a grown-up. Too bad. Even if you fucked up, you did it. You pay for it. Not we pay for it.
And it's 10 months. Okay? The most you can make as a certified medical assistant where I live is roughly between $17 and $20. $20 being the high end. So I went to school for 2.5 years, took out student loans, took out subsidized loan to offset for the income that I wasn't going to bring in while I was being in school. Well, graduation comes, I graduate. So I go ahead at that 6-month mark and I apply for the income-based repayment. I qualified. And the repayment was at $0. Now, it still did accrue interest.
And?
But my payment per month was 0. And every year I have recertified, and it has always been 0. So, now that Mr. Donald Trump has fucked around with the Department of Education.
Yeah, you're going to find out. She expected all that for free. That's it. She expected for free.
Those income-based repayment plans, they don't exist anymore.
Aww.
And, yeah, starting in August, after 15 years, they expect me to repay $492 a month.
You could have been paying on this for 15 years. You hear that? 15 years, this snatch decided not to make any payments. You know what? If you'd been paying even something, they don't come after you if you're paying something. They are happy you're paying something. She's paid 0 for 15 years on taxpayer money. She's an arrogant piece of shit. She expects that we paid ours back and you paid yours back, or people didn't take loans out, went to trade school or something, or did a trade or an apprenticeship. She expects all of us to suck it up for her while she's had 15 years to pay something. Oh my God, now I got to pay $492 a month. What will you be paying if you've been paying even $100 a month or $50 a month for 15 years? This is the average person with a loan. They're out 5, 10, 15, 20 years and have paid nothing. They have money to go on vacations, money to buy another car, money to get the Starbucks latte for $10 a day, 4 days a week. But they can't find $50 a month to drop on a student loan for 15 friggin' years if we're gonna bitch. This one pisses me off because it's only my health problem to bust ass, go through school, pay my own loans, go get a job, a career, get a business, do all this. Now she's expecting you, me, and everybody else to pay for her ass. And she's mad that she had 15 years to start, but she didn't want to pay anything.
That's half my rent. That's my car payment and car insurance.
Aww.
I'm just barely making it. I'm single. I'm a single mom.
Oh, I wonder how that happened. Huh. Wonder if maybe hubby just couldn't stand you. What'd you want free from him? I know, I'm assuming, but you had 15 years to pay something. I don't give a rat's ass if you're a single mommy. I don't give a rat's ass about your car insurance or anything else. I'd ask what kind of car you're driving. Better not be a really nice one. Better not be a very expensive big old Tahoe or a Cadillac or something. Go get yourself a 15-year-old Hyundai Elantra or something. Go get yourself a Ford Focus, an old Ford Focus, and drive that. Yeah, what the hell where you couldn't have put? You're wearing a Christmas sweater, But you couldn't find $50 a month to put in for 15 years.
I'm not making ends meet. I had to stop paying in all these streaming apps for a TV.
Oh no! She's gonna have to watch rabbit ear TV. How dare you and me ask her to pay money back she borrowed from us? Oh my God, she won't have Netflix. How will she survive? I had to stop all the streaming. I know what she said. She didn't have one. I bet she had 3 or 4. So there's money she could make payments with. Watch over-the-air TV. There are free TV services online. You can watch Pluto or Tubi. There's a lot of them. The arrogance.
Right now, my internet's going to be cut off, and I'm going to let it be cut off because that's $100 a month, too. I have stripped myself down to the...
Time to open an OnlyFans. I don't know what my headphones are doing. My headphones are playing a game of disconnect. All right. I saw the fill on the lips, by the way, that last comment, Far North. We are already paying for their abortions. Yeah. Time to open an OnlyFans account. Then or expect bailiffs at your door. Yeah, 100%. No, not the streaming services. Exactly. She does not even hear her own arrogance. Her own spoiled brat jackassedness. Her own entitlement. I'm entitled not to pay back a loan. Well, I'm barely making it. You know, but she's making it well enough to pay for, I'm going to guess, 3 to 5 streaming services. You know what? If my wife and I were having financial issues, our streaming services would be pared down. We don't pay for a lot. Actually, a couple of them come with our cell company. Our cell bill, they pay it. It's like, woohoo, I'll take it. But I'll tell you what, if I had 4 or 5 I was paying for, and we were going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, don't have a lot of money, we're really close, we'd be going, boo-bye Netflix, boo-bye Paramount Plus, bye-bye Apple Plus, bye-bye whatever the other ones are, Disney and Max and all the others. We'd be like, see ya. But she expects that she shouldn't have to pay back money she took out a loan on because she should be able to have all the luxuries instead. No. I've put off a lot to pay off college loans, house loans, business loans in the past, car loans. I went without a lot of luxuries to pay that stuff off, and bet a lot of you have too. Crazy, arrogant entitlement.
The bigger basic necessities. I can't cut any more out of my life.
Wait. What?
A month, too. I have stripped myself down to the bigger basic necessities.
Like what?
I can't cut any more out of my life. But if this motherfucker decides to garnish my paycheck, what's the point of going on? What's the point? You're going to watch the suicide rates go way up, because how are we going to live? How?
I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but you may be doing us a favor. Because if you're that idiotic, entitled, and weak-willed, you would off yourself because of you having to pay back a loan? I'll tell you what, I hope any bank around this woman sees this. That if she ever goes for a car loan or a home loan or a line of equity or anything, that this is played for that bank manager. That they can find this online from her. If they do research, and they do look at your shit online these days, that they find this and go, wait a minute, you will off yourself if we force you to pay back the loan? Well, we ain't loaning you shit, lady. Any bank, credit union should look at this and go, nope, we will loan you nothing. And by the way, you don't even get to use our pen to sign your name. That right there tells every loan institution, nope.
I have a college degree. I can't make more than $20 an hour. Yeah, I picked the wrong degree. Put myself in debt.
Then you fucked yourself up.
15
Not
years
a
ago,
problem.
I thought I was doing a good thing, continuing my education while I still had...
It doesn't matter. As a grown adult, you accept your mistakes. You pay for your mistakes. I don't know how old this woman is, but she must be right at the borderline of the everybody gets a trophy generation. She somehow doesn't think she is responsible for her fuck-ups. Now, I'm betting if she was making $5 million a year because of that degree, she's not giving money back to you and me, extra money. She's not going to give that college extra money. She's not going to pay the government loan people extra money. Just saying. But because she can't make enough, she don't think she should pay it back. Makes no sense.
Little ones at home and a rambunctious teenager. I mean,
Oh my gosh, why is my thing doing this?
I understand that we owe these student loans back. This is not free money. I get that.
Sorry, my headphones really doing weird
Payment
crap.
plans have been put in place so that people aren't sucked dry and can't afford to pay for anything else. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to enroll back in school and hope that, this is what I've been told in the past, that with your student loans and repayment, if you go back to school and pay more loans, then it kind of puts everything on hold while you're in school. So I'll just go to school the rest of my life. I don't know what else to do. I am disgusted. I'm scared. I'm worried. My daughter just took $10,000 in student loans out, and I had to.
Holy shit! Do you hear that? Sorry, I have to play this whole thing, but this whole thing is worth it. This is stupid. Now, her daughter, she didn't teach her daughter better. She just took out $10,000 in student loans. It better be for an actual better degree than you went for. And you better not be instilling this, well, if you take out a loan, you shouldn't have to pay it back shit in your daughter. Hopefully your daughter has more common sense where she knows she's took out these $10,000 in loan, that she's going to that she has to pay it back, that hopefully she's getting a degree that helps her pay it back and is worthwhile. Not some bullshit, idiotic degree where you're going to bitch and whine. Hopefully the daughter is much brighter.
I care about these student loans.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you can't afford to pay for school, don't go.
Well, duh. Duh. That's the first bright thing she said. Right here.
Honestly, if you can't afford to pay for school, don't go.
Exactly. They do not rip you off. I'm tired of people acting like, oh my God, they falsely got me involved in this assignment. No, it's clearly laid out. There are insane amounts of government regulations when you buy a car, when you buy a house, when you sign a loan for school stuff, tuition and stuff. They lay it out. They lay it out clearly. Here's what your payments are going to be. Here's what your interest is. So you signed it knowing this. What the fuck were you thinking then? And by the way, a lot of people who get in too deep is because they lie to banking institutions about their finances at the time. They lie and say they're making more. They lie and say they've got no payments. They leave out the fact they paid $40 a week for Starbucks. Or that they've got a luxury car or have luxury tastes in clothing. They don't tell banking institutions every bill they have or everything they pay money for.
Loans now are going to destroy us.
Oh. She belongs at Hill Street Blues?
Worse and worse.
Oh, I know you're talking. She looks like the one lady on Old Hill Street Blues. Got it.
Worse. There has not been a good day since that man stepped into office. There has not been one day of no bullshit. No bullshit.
Not for grifters and pieces of shit like you.
I'm at a loss. I've just been sitting here thinking I don't and will not have an extra $500. So I guess the only solution to my problem is to find a fucking man, find a fucking woman. We can pair up. We can put our income together, put our assets together. That's the only way this shit's going to work anymore. If you are
You think anybody's going to look at you, especially if they ever run into this and go, yeah, those would be a person I want to date. This is a person I want to shack up with who's just looking at me to suck money out of me. Sorry for that. That did not come out right. Looking to take my money, just have me shack up with them to take my money to pay for her loans because she's such a clusterfuck. Yeah, that's going to get you good in the dating pool, especially since you already admitted you got 3 kids and you're a single mom. Yeah. Good luck. It sounds like you make a lot of bad choices. Whether your husband left because you're a piece of shit or because he's a piece of shit means you made bad choices also there.
If you're a single mom, there's no hope for us. They don't want us to get ahead. They don't.
Why are you a single mom? What bad choices got you there? I'm sorry, but the facts are a lot of people are single moms is because they made bad choices. Made a bad choice of who you let screw you and have a kid with, who you married, how you treated them, something, and you took out loans.
I feel like they're trying to kill off the underprivileged, the addicted, the homeless, the poor, our veterans. It's disgusting and it's sick, and I don't even want to be here.
Says the woman who had multiple streaming services, who obviously has a car. Insurance is not taking public transport. She could get on the city bus. Yeah, she could ride the train in some areas. She could ride the subway. She could ride the L in Chicago. She could walk. She could ride a bicycle. No, she has luxuries.
I don't even want to be here anymore.
Aww.
To all you young girls in childbearing ages, I would not bring a child into this world. I would choose not to have children.
Well, not until you're married. Don't go get knocked up and be a single mommy.
I feel bad that I'm going to have to leave my kids in this fucked up world one day. Anyways, that's my 2 cents worth. I'm sure nobody will listen till the end. Nobody will have anything positive to say. It'll just... They just come at you all day long.
Because you're an entitled twat.
Back the blue. You know, we're gonna come for you. Well, we'll see what tomorrow brings, right? What more fuckery can happen?
I don't know, that Christmas sweater looks pretty new. She had money for that. Just saying. Oh, yeah, but what a piece. The fact that Democrats won't pass a voter ID tells you everything. Tells you that they cheat in elections 100%. We are the only first world industrialized nation without voter ID. Mexico has voter ID. But somehow it's okay for every other country to have it, but not America. And anybody that says we shouldn't have voter ID or have restrictions on who votes here is definitely suborning cheating. I will say it clear as a bell. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Just Kevin Sorbo, by the way, Hercules, loved it. Loved him as Dylan Hunt in Andromeda. Oh, good show. If you haven't checked them both out, Hercules Legendary Journeys. Kind of goofy and kitschy, but fun. Just a fun show. Andromeda, couple good seasons in there. That third season, the last one was good again. The first two were good. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, any Democrat says, well, that's just race. You go ask black people. They got IDs. They know how to use the internet. They know where to get an ID. A lot of black people are for voter ID. It's racism. They use racism and bullshit just for cheating. That's why worldwide it's well known that American Democrats, one of their biggest voting constituencies, are dead people. It's a joke worldwide. I got friends I talk to online in Europe who say, how's the dead vote going for the Democrats? It's well known. So yeah. We must enroll by law to vote. Yeah. And we should have it here. See, once again, you're in New Zealand. You have it. Mexico has voter ID. Most countries do. They don't have mail-in voting either because they know it can be faked. And all that bullshit. It's all rife with fraud. Everything that's easy to defraud, the Democrats are pushing for our voting systems. Why do you think they brought in 20 million illegals over the last 4 years? Because they're hoping to get them to vote. All right, this is Charlie Kirk, the current Democrat platform. And this is why they are going down. They're the least unpopular they've ever been. And I said last night in my stream, the Democrats are less popular right now than crotch rot. They are less popular than a wart on your taint. They are less popular than rubbing your face on blacktop at 40 miles an hour. And this is why. They're for mass migration. They're for an illegal mass migration, not legal. Charlie need to put illegal immigration. Dirty cities, yes. Men in women's sports, yes. Baby ending, yes. Very high taxes, yes. I live in one of those states. It is a state that is supermajority Democrat. Yahoo. Anti-police, yes. Anti-male, yes. Anti-woman, yes, by the biological men and biological women's sports. Anti-whites, yes, 100%. They crap on it and always say, it's great when America, we're going to brown America. Joe Biden actually said on camera, Oh, and by blah so-and-so date, America will be majority brown, and that's a good thing. Nobody ever looks at an African nation and go, and by 2030, this nation will be a majority white nation, and that's a good thing. Insane. Pro-foreigner over their own citizens, Charlie, you leave things out. Pro-gangbanger, yes. Pro-Hamas, yes. What did I miss? A lot. But that right there is why Democrats are less popular than Swampfoot. They are less popular than tuberculosis. They are less popular than all 5 levels of scurvy. So yeah. Buckle Bunny, we need voter ID. What's this real ID? The real ID is a government-issued ID. It's a type of driver's license and or ID card by the states that the federal government is involved in. And it's embedded with a lot of your info. It's very hard to fake this ID. And some places you can't get onto military bases or fly without one. So yeah, it's an ID we have here that's very hard to fake. But yeah, everything here is exactly why Democrats are, honestly, they're less popular than HIV at the moment. Did I miss any illnesses they're less popular than? So yeah, the real ID, that's what it is, Bunny. I would suggest looking it up and getting... I thought Colorado already had it. If you've replaced your license in the last 3 to 5 years, you probably already have what they consider a real ID. It's got information embedded in it. It's got all these protections, so it's hard to fake it. Stuff like that. Which is funny, because our government enacts real ID, but the Democrats don't want any type of ID for voting. Weird as hell. Holy crap, Celtic Spirits Coven, what are you doing? Steps on how to tell when a Democrat is lying. Okay, I haven't even got to your steps yet. No, oh, you're coming in ready this morning. Look at Democrat. 2, if they are moving their lips, they are lying. You could just say, number 1, if they're moving their lips, they're lying. Number 2, if they're not moving their lips, they're lying. How you doing, Celtic Spirits Coven? Far North Dirt Tracking. Got it right. We have a thing called Real Me, and you need an account that proves who you are, like a driver's license. We've had it for a few years, yeah. Well, the thing is, in America, all we have to do is walk in, and we'll give you bring your birth certificate or other forms of ID, and prove who you are, and we'll give you these IDs. It's not like we're charging for this. And the left's whole thing is, that'll disenfranchise black people, and they won't know how to do this. They can't get IDs. And then the people on the street go around everywhere asking. Black people, they go, what are you talking about? Of course I have an ID. Does everybody you know have an ID? Yeah, every black person I know has an ID. What are you talking about? Well, the Democrats say you can't get one. What? Do you know where to go get an ID if they go to give you one for voting? Yeah, the DMV is down here. Turn left, go that way. And they're like, well, they say that black people know how to work the internet. What are you talking about? They were showing people holding up their phones going, I work the internet all the time. So yeah, it's racism, and they're using racism to control votes so they can suborn cheating. Oh no, Spirits Coven kept going. 3, if you can't see a Democrat but hear their voice, they are lying. Oh no. Oh no. How about this? How about number 4? If they blink. If they breathe. Number 4, if a Democrat is breathing, they are lying. How you doing, Celtic? Oh, Lord. Okay, last year you renewed your license. I would look it up real quick, but I believe that Colorado has been implementing the Real ID now. I don't think everybody's done them all yet, everywhere, but I think it's a thing that has to be done by a certain date. So yeah, I would look up Colorado and see if they are doing it. But I believe you probably, if you've done it last year, you probably got what they consider a Real ID. Like I said, a lot of places without it, like I know that the Rock Island Arsenal is pretty close to us as a military base, and I don't think you can get on it without one considered a Real ID because it's hard to fake and has proofs. So yeah. All right, we are almost done for the morning here. My friend recently went on Holiday USA. I'm going to call bullshit on this. I agree with Clown World. I'll take shit that never happened for 500, Alex. Well, I miss Alex Trebek. My friend recently went on holiday to the USA. When she landed, she was interrogated by ICE. Why? Well, they only do that if you're on some type of list because you did something stupid. Have you posted anything negative about our country on social media? No government agency asks that, just stops random people. She was let go after showing them a decoy phone. Okay, I'm going to ask a quick question here. Anybody else see the same problem I do? What the fuck was she doing already having a decoy phone ready? Maybe they had a reason to be asking about her or stopping her. If it ever happened. Why did she have a decoy phone already to show ICE? Sounds like she's up to no good if this ever happened. This does not bode well for tourism to America. I call bullshit. And I don't think I commented yet. Hang on a second. Oh, sorry. I missed here. There. Okay, here's a dum-dum. Why would someone want to take a vacation to the U.S.? Yeah, okay. ICE is doing this. I, too, have a friend whose father was interrogated, and the first question they asked him was, is your wife toxic? Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Want to guess who this person voted for? Just saying. Last year, well, the lady working there knows me. We live in the same town. Well, that doesn't mean anything. There's certain things you have to show when you got that. If it's a real ID, there's certain things you have to show when they switch you to real ID. So it's like your birth certificate and a couple other things you have to show. A decoy phone. Everyone carries decoy phones. Exactly. You get used to it. I don't even see the news anymore. All I see is false flag, psyop, and bullshit. Yep. Love it. Of all the things that never happened, this never happened the most. Exactly. Yeah, everybody's saying, why does she have a decoy phone? UK is the one arresting people for posting on the internet. Yes, anyone can call Trump a dick or Jesus here in the US and no one cares. So yeah, everybody's catching all the bullshit there. Everybody's catching it. Going, what the fuck? Yeah, when Riley Gaines went to do a TPUSA event, these students here at this University of Washington in Seattle threw poop. They threw actual human feces at TPUSA people. Are you kidding? These people are goofy. These are the same idiots who took over the university the other night. Why are they all out? Why aren't they in jail? We already talked about that one early in the stream. This, oh man. I like to try to end happy, but we'll go with a FAFO at the end. But this guy, I don't know if you saw this. This is Colin Rugg. Man, he really catches a lot of good stuff. But I was reading about this earlier today. Social media users are praising a Cincinnati father, Rodney Hinton, for ending a random police officer after his son was shot by police in a carjacking incident. So his son was carjacking somebody. Yes. And he was armed, by the way, but he was carjacking somebody, fought the police. He goes shot and ended by the police during that. Yeah. At least I think he was ended. I'm not sure. I think so. I'm not sure, but I know he was shot. But so what happens? The dad goes out and M-words, ends a random police officer in revenge. He thinks that's okay, payback, and the left is praising this asshole. Where do you think his kid got the feeling he could go carjack people? Last week, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton was shot by police who claimed he had pointed a gun at officers. He fled from a stolen vehicle. You know what? Don't be carjacking people and then effing with the cops. Officers then opened fire and ended Hinton. A firearm was recovered at the scene, according to The Guardian. Hinton family, including Rodney Hinton, later met with police to review the footage. So they looked at the footage, saw it happen, and still went out and ended a cop. That is crazy. After reviewing it, Rodney Hinton became visibly distraught, left the police department in his own vehicle. Hinton later took out his anger on a random deputy when he decided to ram his car into a deputy who was directing traffic for a graduation. So college or high school kids, maybe even younger, got to watch a cop be ended in front of them because of this piece of shit and his, piece of shit son. He saw the video evidence, and his arrogant thug ass, that's not a racial comment, but his arrogant thug ass still went out and ended a police officer. And look how he's looking at him now. What is wrong with the left? And yes, I'm sorry, black folks have got a problem with a lot of their people. As I said last night, 3 to 5% of black people are horrible thugs. 3 to 5% out of 13% are the ones committing most of the crimes in this country. The rest of black America is even more horrified than we are. There is a reason per capita more black people become cops than white or any other in this country because they are horrified by this and want to change their own, the problems in their own society. It's nuts. The officer was rushed to the hospital where he later passed. Social media users, lefties, are praising this piece of crap who is even now eyeballing other cops. Whew. Thug. Book of my decoy phone equals fishy, 100%. Oh. Look at this. See, I didn't even see this. Sorry, guys. He kept man of honor. Need to make a GoFundMe for him. An eye for an eye. You can see the hurt in his eyes. All I see is hate about his son, but you can see the strength, comfort he has from God. He's threatening other cops with a look. He saw the video evidence against his son and still did this. Why do you think his son was such a piece of shit? His son was out carjacking and probably gangbanging and doing stuff, had a gun. What the shit? That apple didn't fall far from that tree, did it? And these people think it's cool. This got me in my feelings. I support this strong black man for standing up for his son and the injustice happening to our black people for years. This is why America and maybe other nations are starting to see black fatigue. We're tired of this shit. Tired of the thuggery. Tired of the racism. It's time we start all calling out black people, not all of them, the 3 to 5%. Hell, I even say it's more 3 to 4% that are thugs and racists. I definitely think 5's too high. 3 to 4% that are racist thugs. It's time we start calling it out, and it's not okay to keep that going. Leftism is indoctrination is a humanitarian crisis. Yes. They're a manufactured product of walking skin whose sole purpose of existence is to destroy nations. You know what? You're probably right on many, many levels, Celtic. You're probably dead right. Speaking of, they started jury selection for Diddy's trial. Yeah! I got some articles I want to read on that. And I got a couple of videos I want to watch too. It's like, whoa! I actually hope he drops some names. I hope he drops some names and some evidence, because I don't think we're going to get shit from the Epstein thing. But I hope the Diddy files drop. That'd be neat, wouldn't it? Get the help from Diddy. All right, guys, this is where we're going to get off here. White ghost, or an ex-black woman who goes around slapping white men because they have white privilege. She gets fafoed. She gets fafoed, everybody. I will puff this up for you here in a second. I know hopefully I won't be in the way. But this is sheer stupidity. This needs to stop. Wonder nobody doesn't knock her out.
This is for the fact that you're a white man and I'm a black woman. I have less privilege than you. Thank you.
I feel bad.
I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life.
I never did anything in my life but slap white men. So I was doing everything perfect, just slapping white men. That's okay. Somebody really got her. I mean, I'm not pushing for violence, but you gotta. And this is a public service. Don't go out hitting people. Do not go out committing violence, because you fuck around, you may find out. Well, guess what? She did the fuck around, and well, the find out really came back. Lefties, do not, I repeat, do not go out hitting random people. Sooner or later, you're going to run into somebody that ain't going to care what color your skin is, and the find out part is going to come into play. Well, she did it, and she found out. Man, that is swollen.
Hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why is this man got a brick on my face?"
Yes, they're all gonna watch you get hit in the face. I don't know if you caught that. She's like, "And I looked at all these men around, and you gonna let this person hit me in the face?" Of course, yeah. And all those men were probably ones you just slapped. You walked up to these random strangers and slapped them because of their skin color. I'm betting they stood there and said, yeah. Do not go committing violence on random people, lefties, or racists. You do not go committing violence on somebody because of skin color. This is a public service message to stop you from getting bricked. You got bricked because of your racism. You are stupid. You committed violence and it came back on you, and now you're crying. I didn't do anything wrong. They're just white. Good God. Crazy. She thought it was okay. Black fatigue is real for a reason. Oh, this is Antifa hunting down an elderly couple in Seattle after they left the Riley Gaines thing. And the police didn't make an arrest. There was a couple videos where they actually got in their face really heavy, got in the way. And they didn't do anything. This randomly talking here, this isn't bad. Standing in front of the car is. But yeah, just stupid. This is back to the lady whining a little bit ago. They're mad. They're going to pay the student loans. I think that's it. I think that's where we're going to end for the night. I'm going to come back, or morning. I'm going to go over here. We're going to puff me up again. Boom. Okay. Ooh, even my screensaver gave up. Oh, so. Speaking of, they started juries like Biddy. Yeah. Slapping, twerking, and crying. What a trinity. Yeah. And then saying, I never did anything to anybody. Dude, you racist twat. You're hitting white people just walking up. Now, imagine this. I always like to play the old sci-fi trope. Reverse it. Imagine if a white woman was walking up and slapping random black men in public, is going to pap, and doing it because of their race. She admitted it. Imagine that as a news story. Holy crap. MSNBC, CNN, all the lefties, Harry Sisson would be out screeching and screaming about it 25 hours a day, 390 days a year about it. And yes, I know that I did lefty math there. She asked for it. Have no sympathy. 100%. What a POS. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping in. Celtic Spirits Coven, Buckle Bunny, Occupational, I forgot the rest of your name. I'm very sorry. Occupational Forces, Far North Dirt Tracking, a bunch of the others from earlier. Sorry, I do not remember all the names. We were talking about a lot. Slow Burn, Brood and Bound. Thank you very much for all the info on the India-Pakistan thing. I much appreciate that. Jeff Alt. I appreciate it, guys. If you haven't yet, please hit thumbs up for the stream. Like, subscribe if you like anything I said. If you didn't, I thank you for spending any of your precious time here. I understand time is what none of us have enough of, even just every hour of the day. Bunny, you have a good day, hun. Take care of yourself. If I do a stream, I don't know if it'll be a red-eye stream or just a stream in the late evening. We'll see how it goes today. I got a lot of work to try to do around the garage and house. We'll see how it goes. And I've still got to get a little sleep yet this morning. 6 a.m. here. Holy crap. Celtic Spirits Coven, you have a great day too. And thank you very much. And Far North, thank you very much for the information on your voter ID in New Zealand. If New Zealand can do it, America can do it. So, I'm just saying. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Let's keep an eye on the Pakistan thing. Let's hope it does not blow up anymore. We don't need it. Have a good day, guys. Hope it's nice where you're at, and I hope